friends. My name is Kaylin and I'm bringing you a reading vlog where I read off my Kindle for a week. I have neglected this Kindle for so long and I'm curious to know if I read more reading on my Kindle than I do physically reading. So I have some stellar books lined up that we're going to read this week. The first one I started with, as you guys saw this morning, was Heartstopper Volume 5, and I was reading that on my iPad because it's in color and I love it. And then for like a Kindle book, like on this thing, I'm going to read How to End a Love Story. That's the one I'm starting with. I don't really know what it's about, but I've heard good things about it, so I'm gonna go read that first. We're heading to my parents' house so I can sit outside and read. So you guys are coming along with me, so let's go. Hi guys, it is now Tuesday. I didn't say when I introduced this vlog that this was going to be from Sunday to Sunday, so I'm very sorry about that, but it is currently Tuesday and I have made some progress in How to End a Love Story. I'm now 57% of the way through this book, and according to Kindle, I have 2 hours and 28 minutes left of the book, so I'm gonna finish it probably tomorrow. But in this book, you're following this girl named Helen who has had a very traumatic senior in high school. Her sister died. And the opening chapters where you find this out, and you find out that her nemesis is Grant because he was actually involved in the accident that her sister was killed by. And so she like hates Grant. And then you fast forward to when she is in her 30s. She is a very successful author and her book just got picked up to be adapted to screen, and so she goes to LA and she moves there because she is getting the opportunity to sit in the writer's room and help like develop the screenplay for this TV show, which is really cool. And the night before, all of the writers have a dinner to like meet each other, and she goes there, and who does she see? None other than Grant. And she hasn't spoken to Grant or seen Grant since her sister's funeral because he tried to go to the funeral and like there was a big thing. And so she's like freaking out, she's like upset, and she has an altercation with him. She's like, don't talk to me, we'll just get through this, blah blah blah. So they now have to spend, I think it's like 20 weeks or something like that, in a writer's room, and you clearly can see that she like wants nothing to do for it. You can also see she's very uncomfortable in this situation. She doesn't do well with group settings. She gets very nervous. She gets very shy. She kind of comes off as like someone who's very off-putting because of how shy and just like uncomfortable she is in these settings. Well, Grant sees her. He's like, I see you, girl. And so they go to this retreat as like a bonding exercise in the middle of the woods, and that's where everything shifts for her and Grant because she takes an adult gummy and they just have this really cute moment where she's like patching him up because something happened, and that's kind of when her mind changes about Grant. And that's all I'm gonna say because I don't want to give anything else away in case you guys want to read this book. But it took me a minute to get into this book, but once I was in it, and I am really liking it. The one thing I'm not really liking is how soon into the book she started changing her mind about Grant. Like, this is marketed as an enemies to lovers book, and it was like, I think at the 40% mark is where something happened. And I was like, no. I don't know if it's just a me thing, but I love me a slow burn enemies to lovers. Enemies to lovers in my mind is a slow burn process because of course they're enemies. It takes a minute to switch from enemies to like lovers, duh. So anything before the 50% mark, I'm just like, why? But other than that, I am really liking it. Helen annoys me because she reminds me of myself, okay? She's very shy. She overthinks a lot of things. Her brain is constantly going. She has these compulsive thoughts, which, hey girl, me too. And she's very off-putting, and I have been told that I come off a certain way, and it's just because I am shy and I overthink every single thing I will ever say to you in my life. So I relate to her a lot, and it's very annoying, and that is what it's annoying me. Other than that, I'm loving it. I love Grant. Oh my god, Grant. I love him. I love Grant. We love a Grant. So that's my thoughts. I really want to finish this soon, but it is 7 o'clock. I'm getting ready to go to bed because here in this household, we go to bed at 8 o'clock. I don't want to hear anything about it. I'm gonna go do my little bedtime routine and I don't know, when I'll see you guys next. Probably when I finish this book. I finished it. I don't know exactly what I'm gonna rate it yet because I did enjoy it, but I didn't like die hard, like love it. I know a lot of people have been really loving this book. There was just something missing for me. I think also like the ending was so like fast paced, like everything happened so fast from the third act breakup to the, you know, finding their way back, and then like what happens next. It was like boom boom boom, this is what happened, this is what happened, but there was also no epilogue, so I guess in a way that is an epilogue. But yeah, I really liked it. I really like Grant so much. Like I really like Grant. Like I want a Grant in my life. Everyone deserves someone like a Grant, the way he is towards her and how he feels for her, and like the things he says is just like out of this world. It did make me cry, but that's not saying much because I cry at a lot of things. Like a lot of little things make me cry. So I cry when I'm happy, I cry when I'm sad, I cry when I'm just feeling, okay? So I finished that. There's first book we've completed this week, and it's Wednesday. I don't know what I'm gonna pick up next. I have a couple books saved from my library, but I don't know if I'm really feeling any of them, so I'm gonna have a gander through my Libby app, see what's available, and then I'll come back when I've decided on my next read. Hello. Very sorry for this lighting, but I currently have a really bad migraine and I cannot stand any other lighting. Also, sorry I'm talking really quiet because it's hurting my head. This came on all of a sudden. It's just one of my flare-ups I'm having, but I was actually just about to start a new book in bed. Also, can you see Wyatt playing on a scratcher? I was actually just about to start a new Kindle book. I saved some on my Libby app, and I'm debating between Practice Makes Perfect, which I haven't heard great things about, but I haven't also read any other Sarah Adams, so I don't know going into it if I'll like it. And then I have that TikTok Pyro one, If He Had Been With Me. No idea what it's about. And then I have Bad Summer People, which I think is like a rich people drama thriller type thing, which I love those. So I'm gonna go and read the first chapter of each of them and see which one I vibe with more, and then I will come back when I have decided which one I'm gonna go for. Hello. I just filmed this clip and I yapped for about 10 minutes. I did not talk to you guys last night because I ended up having a headache, but I did choose a book and I did actually get a quarter of the way through it, and I am reading Practice Makes Perfect. The author is Slipping. It's right over my head, so I'll put the picture up here. And I know this is part of like a companion series, like a small town romance kind of companion series, and in this one you're following one of the sisters. I know in the first book you followed the brother that got married to like a, or not married, I guess they're engaged, the famous pop star. So you're following the sister. Her name is Annie. She's a very shy, socially awkward gal with not a lot of experience in the dating world, okay? In fact, she's still a if you get what I'm saying, and which nothing wrong with that at all, girl, nothing wrong with that. And she goes on this date that ends very bad because she overhears the guy like calling a friend. We've all done this, I've done this, where like calm emergency situation, like you have to go home, right? And she overhears it, and then she also overhears how he's saying how boring she is. So she's like, whatever, I'm just gonna get my brownie and I'm gonna leave. Well, she runs into her brother's fiance's bodyguard. His name is Will. And William, I don't know if his real name is William. I think it is. I assume it is. Will is like the man I secretly want. And they have a little tiff, Will and this man. And then like Annie leaves and he walks Annie out to the car, and like then he can't get Annie off his mind. Same night, she drives over to Amelia, I think is her name, the fiance, like her brother's fiance, and they have a girls' night. And then she's like, Amelia's the only one knows she went on this date and it like ended badly, and she's like, I'm gonna help you figure it out, like a dating situation. The next day, Will comes in and is like, this is from Amelia and you're supposed to read it when I'm here. And it is, and it's her telling Annie she needs to ask Will to be her dating coach. And so after a little bit of like back and forth flirty banter, he agrees. So he's now her dating coach. That's all I've gotten so far in the book. They haven't started anything yet, but they're about to. But it's been very clear that he's like, don't fall in love with me. And she's like, he's not the man I need in my life, but like I want him, is where she's at now. Girl, we've all been there. So yeah, I don't know what's happened to me because I usually don't gravitate towards romance books like at all. The only reason why I have romance books on my shelf is because my bestie Brie, hey girl, she supplies my romance bookshelf. So I never read romance. I never willingly pick up a romance unless it's Abby Jimenez or Emily Henry. Those are the only two authors. Or I guess does Taylor Jenkins Reid count as no. So I've willingly picked up 2 romance novels and I don't know what's wrong with me because I'm a little bit of a Grinch towards the romance genre and romance in general. So those are my thoughts. Oh, I guess I should tell you I'm 27% of the way through the book, 90 pages in. So I haven't hit 100 pages. It is currently 8:15 on a Thursday night. Usually Thursday nights I watch a movie. Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights I allow myself to watch a movie in my bed on my projector. Because if you don't know, I have a projector. And I put me on a limit because for a while I got into The Witcher. And I was staying up till midnight on a work night. And that cannot be a thing because I get up at 5 a.m. for work. So then we had to stop that. So I've put myself a limit on that. So Thursday, Friday, Saturdays, I'm allowed to pull it out. But I think tonight I'm just going to read to get some reading done because I realized this was supposed to show if I could read more. And I've willingly chosen not to pick up a book. So we're gonna read some more tonight, I think tonight. I don't know, it may change. I may turn on my projector because I know some new movies came out this week. I'm gonna quit yapping. I'm gonna go get ready to hop in bed because yes, I do get into bed this early. Yeah, I do. And I will chat to y'all tomorrow. Good morning, guys. It is now the next morning, so it is Friday morning, and now I'm sitting here with my Alani Nu because I realized I was out of coffee creamer, but luckily I had an Alani Nu. Anyways, I have been reading Practice Makes Perfect. I'm now 40% of the way through it. I wanted to get halfway through this last night, but guys, I'm gonna be honest with you, as soon as it hit 9:30, I was asleep. So I did, but they have now officially started like their practice dating. They've been on one practice date and it kind of went south because Will started talking like true feelings, like he was not practicing, and so she like got upset because she thought like he was practicing and said that line, and she's like always wanted to hear it from a guy. So she runs off, and then within the same day he finds her at the flower shop. I want to give flowers to a woman that I made upset, and then they have this big moment where she's like, you didn't make me upset, and blah blah blah, and she like tells him, and then they have this like moment where he like reveals his heart to her. And I just, for me, it's too early on in this like practicing dating coach situation to be revealing that, and it made me lose interest. Like I'm like, ick, you know, I wanted more of like the practice. And he claims he's like this guy who like doesn't reveal his feelings, like he wants nothing to do with the long-term relationship, but he's been the opposite of that. Like every time we see him with Annie, like he just can't stop like showing his feelings. And I guess that's kind of the whole point, because he's like, this never happens. But if you're gonna have a character that gives off like the player energy, let him be a little bit of a player before you show his true colors, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know if I'm actually going to finish this book. Let me see how long I have left in this book. I have 3 hours left in this book. I don't know. I mean, I could finish it and that would put me up till 10 a.m. which kind of works because my groceries aren't even going to be here. They're going to be here between 10 and 11. So I guess I could. I mean, I'm not doing anything today. I do have a video to edit and I do have TikTok filming, but I really don't want to do those things right now. Also raining outside. It's very doom and gloom, which is not great filming weather. So I don't know. But I think I am going to read a little bit and see how far I can get in this book. Maybe I'll read until I'm done with this or until my groceries get here and see if I can finish this, because I already know what my next book is going to be and I'm excited. I'm gonna get back to reading and I will talk to you guys later. Hi guys, this is such a weird angle and I apologize, but I actually just finished Practice Makes Perfect. I finished it this morning. Yesterday I had a really weird day. Like I had another one of my weird flare-ups. I don't really know what to call them, but it just was a weird, like from afternoon all the way until like 7 p.m. I was feeling very weird. I had a little bit of a headache. I was feeling nauseous. I was feeling very out of it. So I don't know what that was about, but it went away around like 7 o'clock. And then I had dinner and I watched The Idea of You, which that vlog is already out. If you guys want to watch me compare the book to the movie, I would suggest watching it because it was a fun time. So anyways, this morning I finished Practice Makes Perfect by Sarah Adams, and you know, it was cute. It was nothing groundbreaking when it comes to a romance. And I did skim a little bit of like the last chapter because I was kind of over it at that point. And I don't know, it just wasn't the best romance I've ever read. And I don't really like the writing style. I think Sarah Adams is not for me. I don't really like that kind of writing style like at all. I gave it a 2.5. I did like how it ended though. It was kind of cute how it ended. But if you're looking for a book that's not super smutty and doesn't have like this spice, you know how when you read like a smutty book, like they go in detail? This one doesn't have any like that. There's like make out scenes, but there's nothing like more than that. So if you're looking for like a non-smutty, spicy book, this is it. Like it's like very low on the spice. I would say it's like half a spice rating. I tried reading Wild Love by Elsie Silver and I just realized this is not the vibe. I've read so many romances in the past like week and a half that I kind of need something else. So I found a fantasy on Kindle Unlimited and it's called When the Moon Hatched. And it's by Sarah A. Parker. I don't know anything about this because I haven't started it yet, but when I was looking at the thing on Amazon, like what it was about, it mentioned something about dragons. It says, When the Moon Hatched is a fast-paced fantasy romance featuring an immersive, vibrant world with mysterious creatures, any magic system, and a love that blazes through the ages. And then it says something about the creators did not expect their beloved dragons to sail skyward up their end, to curl into balls just beyond gravity's grip, littering the sky with tombstones, with moons. They certainly did not expect them all to fall. And I love anything with dragons. So, and it's got actually a very high rating. It's got a 4.5 on Amazon and a 4.2 on Goodreads. So I'm going to give it a shot. We're going to see, but I need to do some editing because it's currently Saturday and my video that's supposed to go up tomorrow is not edited at all. And I've got a lot of footage to edit, so I need to go do that. So I'm gonna do that for the majority of the day. It's around 10 o'clock, so I'm guessing it'll probably take me until like 12 or 1, which sucks. But let's go do that and then I will start the book. Plus this needs to be charged because this is nearing dead. So I will see you guys when I start the book. Hello. Plans have changed when it comes to reading. I started that book that I talked to you guys about. Didn't realize it was a dark fantasy romance, and I'm not one for dark anything, especially like something with like a mile-long triggers. I'm not into it. So we DNF'd that. I actually didn't even start it. I saw the triggers and I was like, okay, I am not reading this. Don't want anything to do with it. If you love it, I love that for you, but for me, no. So I reverted back to the original plan, which was Wild Love by Elsie Silver, and this is part of the Rose Hill series. This is a new small town romance series from Elsie Silver, who wrote Chestnut Springs series. And in this one, you're following Ford, who is the world's hottest billionaire, is what he's just been named. And he has his own bar / concert venue, and he's developed an app, and he's come back to the town called Rose Hill where growing up he used to go for summers with his family. So he's moved back there because he wants some peace and quiet, and he wants to have his own recording company in his backyard. His best friend is named West, and West has a sister named Rosie, and you also get her POV. And Rosie works in the city, and she had an altercation with her boss, and she's not having a great time with the guy she's currently dating. So she comes back into town, and Rosie spent her summers with Ford and West, like around them, like she grew up, and they kind of have this weird like teasing banter kind of like they kind of act like they don't really like each other, but it's like that flirty, I don't like you but I really like you type. Well, before she shows up into town, this 12-year-old teenager comes to the doorstep of Ford and says, I'm your daughter. So apparently he donated sperm, and there is his donation on his doorstep. Her name is Cora or Kara? Cora? I think it's Cora. She's like, I really need you to take over my kinship. We just lost my dad. My mom is, I think, really clinically depressed. She's like, I looked it up. Like, I need her to go somewhere. I need you to take me. So basically he takes over kinship, like part kinship. I don't know what I think that's what it's called for her. And now he's like a single dad, kind of. So that's basically where I have left off. I'm only 15% into this book. I do like it. It is kind of fun. It's currently a Saturday evening. I just had dinner and I just cleaned up, and it's currently raining. So it's a very rainy Saturday evening. So I don't know if I'm gonna pick this up anymore tonight because I kind of just want to chill and watch like TV or something. But I'm also kind of wanting to read. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I just wanted to update you with that, and I'm sure I will talk to you guys tomorrow because tomorrow's the last day that we're doing this video. Hi guys, it is now Sunday, and I said I was going to extend this video until Monday, so I am going to do that. But I read a little bit today on the way to where we were going with my parents for the day, and then like while I was at my parents, so I'm now 50% of the way through this book, and I'm just not like obsessed with it. And I had this problem when I read Heartless, or was it Flawless? I don't know. I read one of the Chestnut Spring series books. Like, I tried to read it and I DNF'd it. Something about her writing I just don't like. It's just something like, I don't know, or maybe it's this trope. I don't really care for the subplot of him having a daughter. Like, I just don't. That's just personal preference. I really don't care for like the pregnancy trope, the single dad trope. Like, I really don't care about reading about kids in general in my books. Maybe that sounds really bad. I'm really sorry. Like, I love kids. I do. I love that for you if you have kids. But like, I don't have any kids, and it's a personal choice of mine to not have any kids. So I don't really want to read about them, you know? And I don't like the whole frenemies thing. Like, I don't like it with Rosie and him. Like, I don't like her. I just think I don't like Rosie. Like, I don't like how she's putting on this like act with him, and also it just seems very juvenile, the whole thing with the journal, like the diary entries you get to read about, and how they act just seems very juvenile. I don't know, that's my only issue with this book. So I don't know if I'm going to finish it. I'm gonna at least read some tonight while I'm in bed, and then I'll read it tomorrow morning. And then I think if I don't finish it by tomorrow, I think I'm done with it because I just don't care. I don't know if Elsie Silver is for me. I know, it's so bad because everyone loves her and everyone says this is her best book yet, and I'm just like, I don't see it. And I think it also has to deal with that I have been reading a set TBR for videos for the past like month, and I just want to mood read. So I think that could be a little bit of my issues, which I'm gonna allow myself to mood read, but that's not this video. So I'm gonna go back to reading. I'm reading by candlelight. I have my fairy lights on. Very cozy. The sleeping meds have been consumed, and I'm ready to fall asleep. I will see you guys in the morning. Hello. I have come to end this vlog because I DNF'd Wild Love by Elsie Silver. I just don't think I'm an Elsie Silver girl because her writing is just that type of writing that's very romance cheesy to me. So if you read romances and you don't read the romances that are written like that, can you leave me some recommendations? No dark romances, nothing like that. No crazy smut. I just want like a romance that will rip my heart out, put it back together, and then rip it out again. Like, I want like normal people, like that type of like romance, even though that's not really like a romance. I think it's like a contemporary is what that book, I don't know. I want like that. Maybe I need to read lit fic. But so that is why you didn't see any more updates from me, because I did DNF it. I think I got maybe 60% of the way through, and I said, you know what, she just got on my nerves, okay? And also I found it strange that this book is like labeled as the single dad trope, and I find it very strange how he became like a father. I just think that's weird. Also, I think it was weird how Elsie Silver basically glimpsed, I guess glided over the essay in The Office and didn't touch on that because that's such like a huge topic, and the way she did it, I just didn't like it. It was such like a, you know, kind of a throwaway thing, and I hated that. It shouldn't have been in there if that was gonna be how it is. But yeah, I just 60% DNF'd it. So yeah, you guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this week of me reading on my Kindle. It was very interesting. And I think I am not a Kindle Unlimited girly is what I've come to discover. Unless there's some really good books on Kindle Unlimited. I know there is, but like it's a fine line between fanfic, cheesy, and like good books. You know what I'm saying? Like it's very hard for me to find good Kindle Unlimited books without them being super cheesy, corny, fanfic like Wattpad-y, stuff like that. But anyway, well, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you guys are subscribing because I would love to have you here. If you haven't already, make sure to follow me on all the social medias. I don't shout them out a lot, but I am on TikTok and Instagram. I'm also on Fable now. I'm deleting Goodreads, but remember to be kind to yourself and to others around you, and I will see you guys next Sunday. I love ya.